bounce pass. And that time Alabama's showing you how devastating they can be out in transition.
Inside, Foster lays it in. Flag with Nelson on him now on the switch. Flag, missed another one. Duke's going small. Brown gets it back, sets up another chance here for Duke. Caleb Foster, cash money.
And puts Baylor in front 21-19. Foster remains in there for Duke.
Guys, right now.
Foster the drive. Foster the finish.
Oh, he just put that good of it.
8-second difference, shot clock to game clock, controlling.
And this is that look again. They were confused before. The matchup, pointing fingers. Who's to cover home? But they had Gillis wide open. They don't want to shoot it too soon, though.
6 to shoot. Foster takes a peek. James swing. Foster trying to beat the clock, and he does. Duke 12 of 21 from deep. Substitutions are coming for Scott Drew. Foster taking the air out of the ball, 7 to shoot. And nobody home as Foster lays it in.
They've had a lot of breaks
in for Mount St. Mary's. The spin, the floater, it doesn't go for Keys.
Well, they run a lot of sets, and they're not getting. It's individual ability that's going to have to show itself, exhibit itself, if they're going to get anything.
Caleb Foster in the game for Duke. They find him. Foster will take and make the three. The number has already been retired there. Hanging, it won't go for Cordelia. 9 players have scored for Duke. Flag. Gives it up. Foster. He got shoved. And a chance clock. The 3 ball doesn't go. Hobbs thought he had it. Foster cans it from long.
I think a lot of kids will be interested in the style of play, the competitiveness.
Five-game winning streak for Mount St. Mary's. Terrific story. Their legendary head coach, Jim Phelan, from 1954 to 2003.
Dream. Tipped away by Foster. Working on Davis. He'll lay it in.
Defending R.J. Davis, forcing the turnover.
Foster blowing by and lays it in.
Davis has been scorching hot recently. And turns it over again. So back-to-back possessions where the heels turn it over. Foster got it.
Boy, smart play to attack the basket.
Potentially in college basketball, or at least be in the Carmelo discussion.
I think, you know, Carmelo did win a national championship.
Right.
At the same time, Carmelo didn't have near the defensive impact as Cooper because he sat in the back of the 2-3 zone. So, to me, I would like to see him deep into the second.
Evans, McDonald's All-American freshman who's really come alive of late. Duke with 3 freshmen on the floor right now, a sophomore and a senior in James. Here's Foster driving and spins it home eventually. Between the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, end of the year.
He's wild.
Here's Foster. And if Tyrese Proctor's going to be
Currently on offense.
Lynn Kidd, again, battling through injury today. Gutting it out, 14 for Miami. 29 minutes played. I know Bill Courtney really appreciates that Lynn Kidd did the work to get on the floor today. You can see him labored a bit as the game's gone on. Foster, another.
Sets there, yes, but you got to be the right people to play the role correctly.
John Shire told us today, I'd really like to just get 1 transfer a year in the future. Now, he may lose half his team to the NBA and need more than
sounds
that.
Ideal.
Foster strokes a jumper. Duke.
Way. Boswell picks it up in crosstown, midtown traffic. Strip picked up the nipple. The kick. Foster gathers, banks it down.
Different identity than the swing offense of the past.
And your son was the starting point guard, played in the national championship game for Wisconsin.
Yep. Two back-to-back Final Fours. But you have to build your team differently in today's game.
Here comes Gillis off the turnover. Foster steps into the three. They want now. Foster the inbounder for Duke. Evans breaking to the ball, guarded by Yakuchonis. Bases. Headsy. Baseline, Foster. Bring it up. Full and rinse. No thin spots. No gray. Foster. Good minutes for him here. And he hits another J. That's a guys.
Stanford with the basketball. Evan Stinson will lift, but can't find a range from three. And Gunba with the rebound. 88-59. It's been a runaway here in the second half of the Duke Blue Devils.
You know, Corey and Dave, we were talking about some of the draft choices of Duke's three guys in the top 6.
The Gunba.
Obi, as we look at this lineup on the floor for Duke, Caleb Foster was a 5-star, should have been a McDonald's All-American coming out of high school. As he steps back, lines up a 3-ball. I asked him, and that's the first 3. He's always a threat to get a bucket.
By the way, moments ago, Gunba and Reynaud offsetting flagrants in transition. Here comes Foster, getting some minutes late and getting some points to go. 101-70. ABC World News Tonight coming your way next.
Duke was at their best tonight. They really were. They were executing. Their rankings of Mr. Pomeroy is going to go up in every area.
And Wilkinson now over 20 points.
Yep.
And so he averaging 19.8 in his last 6 games. Will continue to keep that average up in the starting lineup. I talked with Garrett earlier today, their, of course, sports information director, and asked, is there a number of games as Caleb Foster gets his first?
A multitude of opponents. We had the chance to call North Carolina versus Pitt, which is a really close and tight game. And Duke was just able to pick fouling. It takes a certain mental discipline, especially to sustain that discipline throughout the course of a game.
Ball knocked away. There's another steal for Brown. Who else? Foster. Tough finish for Caleb.
One possession losses. But, you know, it takes winning experienced players to close out those games. We had 2 of those games between, you know, Texas Tech, Texas, and they had legit shots in both those games. So, you know, I think this is just another learning experience. And also, I think that the talent level needs to be elevated for Syracuse. And I think Syracuse fans recognize that. I think the coaching staff recognizes that.
Said resigned day after Christmas. And Miami's been 0-4 since. Foster trying to get on the board. Strong drive from the wing for Caleb Foster. The officials going back and watching that after the play once we got to a dead ball and assessing the technical foul. And Johnson is Caleb. As we go inside of a minute. Cam Sheffield and Neil Begovic are at the table as well for Duke. There goes Hubbard on the drive. No kick out for Foster's 3. Got it. And Spencer.
Pretty nifty move there, but a little short.
Foster. Yes, sir. Caleb. Over into another. You see Colbert knock down those free throws. If you're SMU, you knock down a few more free throws. We're talking about this game is a lot closer than what it is now.
That was 3 out of 9 from the strike. Beautiful, strong.
And here's the thing, is that, you know, you got a little bit more than 10 minutes. SMU is still very much in this game. The pace has picked up a little bit more in their favor. They've been able to get some stops. but you got to be able to get some easy stops and limit the easy buckets. You see Foster get. Caleb Foster, beautiful move to the
break ahead of Knippel. Evans denied a chase down block by Suarez. Stays with Duke and Foster.
Leaving, that's what the problem is today. Starters are leaving, and that's the problem. But sometimes it's good. Like, I mean, Roach was a good player. Mitchell was a good player, but I think they got better with the people that they brought.
I think a lot of people forget Clemson made a run to the Elite Eight last season. P.J. Hall is gone. Ian Shefflin has been in.
They want the hope, but they don't want this program to be a circus. And that's no disrespect. If anything, I'm giving the program respect. This is one of the best programs in college basketball history. And it's good to see Pat Kelsey come in here, really stabilize, and then inject hope into this fan base.
Under 10 to shoot. And that stops a three for Ruse.
Confidence is compounding. You can see it. The confident group for Louisville.
Largest lead of the night. Edwards has been a key piece. Had it stripped by Brown. The 9th Louisville turnover. Open three for Foster. And he pays it off from deep.
Standing defender. Chad Baker-Mazzaro with his second three of the night. Shooting over 45% from three. And he is one confident player right now. He is one of several for the visitors. Baker-Mazzaro, remember the all-tournament team out in the Valley as well. Getting some good minutes. Again, getting some run in a very high-caliber game for the first time this year. Flag to Malawach. Now Foster. The drive, and he hits to make it a run. Belongs to Auburn with numbers. And Baker-Mazzaro threw it away. Now Duke in transition. Foster for three.
To you. Well, then let's raise the roof on this. Let's all move forward. Duke's looking to advance to 5-2 with a howitzer of a game against Auburn next Wednesday here at Cameron. They're back home, and they're in possession first. Tony Henderson, Tommy Morrissey, and Les Jones are our officials on this Friday night. Caleb Foster in to come on. Malawach, part of this fabulous freshman class for Duke. And Foster will get the first look. And he'll bury a three.
Seattle has given up so far in this game and just can't connect.
Step back three for Maldonado. Seattle is 5 for 27 from three Tuesday and lost to Furman. 1 for 8 tonight. A spinorama from Foster for Duke. Christopoulos did not score in that first half. Foster gets a piece of that one. Ends up in the hands of Flag, and Foster the recipient.
Storr didn't start. First time he didn't start this year, but he's come off the bench and provided a spark. Dickinson goes to his right hand. Good defense by Malawach. Foster hard to the rack. That's good. Was not touched by Malawach. I love the two-man game between Dickinson. And there's a turnover. Got a little loose with it, did Zeke Mayo. Slaps himself on the hip, frustrated. Adjustment midair on that pass. He was looking at Malawach. And the three from the corner right in front of the bench. That one will.
Townsend into Krivas. Jump hook. Too strong and Flag the rebound. Good block out by Cooper Flag. Foster can't shake Bradley, now out to Flag. John Shire talked about wanting more movement, more motion at the offensive end of the floor. There is Caleb Foster in other ways. Foster to the free throw line, up no good, tip, yes. Got his own.
Day one to the end of the season.
And we got lucky to see a lot of Sion James as Flag missed a three the last 4 years at Tulane. If you watch Sion James, if you talk to Ron Hunter, the Tulane coach, as Foster hits a three, you know Sion.
Knipple all over the ball right now. Sybils gets it out to Bailey. Another open look for three. It's just not going. Wofford is 1 for 15 from out there. They shoot a lot of threes. They put up 51 in their opening game of the season. Caleb Foster. Ball, taller players who are very raw, still learning the game. He is pretty polished for being the 5th youngest guy in college basketball. It's somebody, again, with very little basketball experience.
He doesn't try to overdo it. I mean, simplify the game, and it comes easy.
Flag to Foster for three. Another good finish by Filowich.
Only when I'm cooking Italian.
71-24, in case you didn't look at the TV wondering why these guys talking about onions. Here's Foster. Another three for Caleb Foster.
Knipple closes out quickly on Brea. Brea's going to get the shot off anyways. And Foster's having a big night. He's down with another rebound.
Well, that's a shot that Brea can make, but Knipple did a great job of putting pressure on it. That was a challenge three. How about that block by Malowacz?
The first of many, no doubt. And how about the night?
Or can Kentucky, down 6, cut into this lead or even take the lead?
Foster spins and hits. Good patience in the paint.
He made a great hire last year to get Kevin Kuick here.
Malowacz misses the three. There's Knipple ripping the rebound away from Blake Barker. Foster from the corner. He finds the rain.
Yum Center. We need that building rocking, both for the sport of college basketball, and I think the ACC needs it as well. And look, they're built in the image of Pat Kelsey. It's got a Pitino-esque vibe. They were pressuring defensively, shoot a lot of threes, and they got a number of different guys.
And another chance for Army off the miss by Scovins. Everybody gets a shot, and everybody missed on that time. 49-26. Duke with the basketball, wearing their commemorative gray uniform. Drive by.
They just haven't had that yet.
Well, it's going to come, and it's going to come soon. Three ball by Rucker. He's now got 14 points. Into the game, Darren Harris, another one of the freshmen, number 8 in gray. Yeah, the schedule is going to get markedly more difficult in the next month for the Blue Devils. They'll take on 4 ranked non-conference opponents. Benson gets the shot up. Brown with the rebound. 47-29 rebound advantage for the Blue Devils tonight. Foster with a runner.
Keon Burns spent 2 seasons at LIU, came to Maine last year. He finished the year really well.
That's out front for Duke. Proctor tries to cut off Clayton, who pulls up but misses. Board grabbed by Evans. Foster drives, gets the defender in the air and lays it through. Gillis does a nice job staying with the shooter, Mantis. Foster puts it on the deck, draws the contact, and we talked about the fact that he is a former Black Bear himself. His wife, Ashley, was also a star basketball player at Maine. She has made the trip with her 2 daughters. And as an illustration of just how hard it is to play at this level, especially when you have classed up. Foster rattles home a 3.